What's up, everyone? It is your boy Tareq, and I'm back today with another. I was about to say Love Island. Another Love is Blind review for you guys. If you guys are new to the channel, please be sure to hit the subscribe button with the notification bell on. So every time I upload a video, you guys are notified. Today we're going to be reviewing Season 8, Episode 2 of Love is Blind. I realized that my last review was quite long. And I was literally writing everything that was happening. I need to understand that these episodes are long. Like, they're over an hour long. So what I've decided to do is actually take down the important parts, or the parts that I think that are important, or the key parts. And I've just kind of... We're going to review that instead. Because I think writing every single piece of detail is not really needed. Like, every conversation. Because some of the conversations really don't be given. But I was writing it down anyway, thinking this is Love Island for me to... Love Island is only an hour and 5 minutes at best, but this is like an hour and 10, and yeah. So anyway, without further ado, let's get straight into this review. So Taylor has a tattoo of Taco Bell inside her bottom lip. Daniel also said that he will get a matching tattoo along with Sarah. One thing that I will say is I don't understand the matching tattoo thing. Maybe it's because I'm a person, I don't have tattoos myself, but I've never understood the matching tattoos. Because God forbid, things don't work out. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, why do we need to get matching tattoos? I'm just asking a question because I don't have tattoos myself. So I'm not going to understand that feeling. But if someone who has done that can explain to me what is the thought process behind it, I'd love to hear it. Next, we have Ben saying how he is a strong Christian and Sarah is not. She's not religious, but she was raised up being Catholic. I guess with some people, when they get older, obviously when you're growing up with your parents and stuff like that, they will bring you up in the right way. They will bring you up within whatever religion they follow. It's natural. And then when you get to a certain age, if you want to either convert or you feel like you don't believe in God no more, or whatever the reasons may be, then obviously people go in their own direction. But she does like I said, I'm always for people at least having a belief in something. Not everyone believes in God, and I'm a firm believer in the Lord, yeah. I'm a firm believer in the Lord. There's no doubt about that. But I'm not silly to be like, oh, everybody must believe. You have your beliefs, at the end of the day. Like I said, I personally couldn't be with someone that doesn't believe in anything. To me, that's just like, wow, like, you must have a belief in something, at least. I'm not saying it has to be a religion. Even if you think there's a higher power or something, you have to be able to back up. You have to be able to give an explanation, like, as in what, like, why you believe in something, or why you just not believing in something to me is crazy. I don't know. I just find that whole concept a bit crazy. It's like, so how do you think a lot of these things are about the place? Do you think it just fell from thin? Like, that's my thing. That's something that it's not a deal breaker, but I cannot be with someone that doesn't believe in anything. I cannot do it, I've dibbled and dabbled in that before. And like I said, I'm a very open-minded person. So I'm like, you know what, at the end of the day, you have that and I have this. But it then comes to the fact that when you are, as a person, you're trying to pray, or you're trying to always thank the Lord for, blessings that happen in your life. You have people saying, oh, it wasn't God that done that. Or it's like them little comments. Even if you think it's not disrespectful, it's disrespectful. So it's like, I can't do it, because it's like any little thing you have something to say, and it's just like, no. Sarah, she was dropping gems, and this is why I'm saying there's a lot of hypocrisy when it comes to religion. And yeah, I'm going to talk about it. She was dropping gems. She was saying, so in Christianity, there is a commandment where it's like, love thy neighbor. But it's like, LGBT people must go to hell. And the reason why I mentioned that is because this is what Sarah was saying, because I think she has, is it her sister that she said? Did I write it down? Is that, I think her sister, either her sister's friend or her sister is gay. So it's like, because of like the religion itself is very against it. And I'm Catholic, so I'm actually talking from experience. I know anytime someone finds out that I'm gay and I'm also Catholic, it's like, oh, but you're sinning, you're sinning. But then I always ask the question to people, and I'm always like, but you're judging. You see what's happening here? So if me being gay is such a sin, which it isn't, by the way, people have just taken their own interpretation out of the Bible and made it into their own hypothesis. And it's like, no, that's not the way it works. That's actually not the way it works. Like, actually study the Bible and understand what Jesus's words were, instead of just interpret it and making it your own. Because right now, you're actually being quite disrespectful. You're the one that's disrespecting the Lord by behaving the way you're behaving. I'm just being me. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm actually just being me, but you're the one that's actually disrespecting me by judging, talking about me, and doing all these things. This is not godly behavior. So that's what Sarah was basically talking about. It's the hypocrisy. Yeah, there is, and I have to agree. I have to agree. Sarah said that because obviously Sarah asked, oh, would you want your partner? She asked Ben, would you want your partner to go to church with you? And Sarah said she would be open to go to a church that accepts everyone, not just, oh, if you're straight and you're like literally everybody. So yeah, I feel like in America, a lot's going on at the moment. We're not going to get too much into the politics, but if you know, you know. But I feel like as a world, we are slowly progressing forward. Like, we are going forward. So it is a good sign to see, but we still have a lot of work to do as a society. Lauren is talking about going all in with someone who may reject her at the end. It is a scary feeling, like, especially putting your feelings out there and putting your all into something to find out that in fact the person's not even going to choose you anyway. Like that, I could imagine how like devastating that could be. David is telling Lauren about the date he had with Molly. I think that was a bad move. I don't think it's a good idea to... Me personally, I wouldn't be describing how the date was with another person. I don't think the person I'm currently talking to needs to hear that. I understand David is being honest. I totally get it. But I feel like there's certain things that you can actually keep to yourself. Like, especially like if you're... like, obviously, yes, Molly's aware of the experience. You're obviously... She knows. Like, she's not silly. She knows. If she asks herself... That's totally different. Like, she asked. But if she doesn't ask and you're just telling off the cuff like that, I don't know. To me personally, I feel like that's a problem. And you should... And me personally, I don't think David should have done that. Boy, I'm thirsty. They both have feelings towards each other. David... Okay, so David was saying that him and Molly... Did I say Molly? I was meant to say Lauren beforehand if I said Molly. I think I was talking about Lauren, but he was telling Lauren about the date him and Molly had. I hope that's what I said. David was saying that him and Molly have had chemistry from the beginning. David doesn't like when people tell him what to do. I know, I feel it. I hear you. I hear you. And yeah, it's like school is different because you're a minor. But it's like once you reach a certain age, it's like, I really don't like the fact that you're bossing me around. And it's the fact that it's not what you're saying, but it's how you're saying it. You think because you're in a position of power, you can abuse your power. That's what we're not going to do, because I'll actually check you each and every time. But with stuff like that, people who are acquiring to aim higher, it's a temporary basis. Don't worry, it's not forever, it's temporary. If you got big plans, then it's a temporary fix. Don't see it as your forever. Because if you see it as your forever, it will end up being your forever. So you need to have the mindset where it's like, oh, this is just short term. Let me save up some money and then invest into myself, and then boom, you're done. Like, that's literally it. When David was explaining his story about school, I can relate because I just about passed my GCSEs. For Americans that don't know what GCSEs are, they are the final exams that you sit when you're in, I'll say for you guys, grade 11, which for us is the final year of high school. And it determines basically what school. So like when I mean school, is like we have something called sixth form and college. College not being university. It's like the next step from high school. It's like the in between college and when you finish school. It's like the in between. So it's like that can decide what course you can take, because obviously you need certain grades to take certain courses. And in my GCSEs, I just about passed. I passed everything, so I did well. But I could have done way better. But I wasn't academically smart. I'll be very honest with you guys. I wasn't a person that's academically smart, and I didn't really apply myself in school. Like I would have to get that push in order to do well. Like I would need to get that kind of, come on Tareq, like you have a deadline to reach yours. Like for me, I don't know. For me, I wouldn't say school was a waste of time because it did teach me things. But I feel like as an adult now, I'm learning a lot more from the outside than I did in school. And I think school should start. This is just a side note. I think schools really need to start teaching. You know, like in citizenship or whatever your school called it, PHSE. I feel like in those type of lessons, they should really be teaching about financing, how to manage money, credit scores. I really feel like kids in school will really benefit from these lifelong lessons, because these are things that we use on a daily basis. These are things that we use in everyday life. Teaching someone about Pythagoras theorem. Can anybody tell me if they've ever used a Pythagoras theorem in their life? Probably people that deal with finance, maybe, but even that itself, that's algebra. Maybe more on the scientific side, maybe. Scientists might deal with that, but not... I feel like if you're not a scientist, you've never had to use Pythagoras theorem. That's just my take on it. David feels like he can tell Molly anything without her judging him. He did cheat in his last relationship, and Molly also participated on someone else cheating in the relationship. And both of them need to get off the stage, because what's happening? I'm not judging, okay? But what's happening? Okay? Hopefully they don't make that mistake again, because she participated in someone's cheating. You know what, yeah? I'm not judging, but I will talk about it. Do you know how vindictive you have to be? Cheating is one thing. For me, cheating is one thing. Okay? We all know cheating is bad. But the fact that you are going to participate with someone else who is seeing someone else, and you know they're seeing someone else, but you're going to participate anyway. Nah, that's a different level of vindictiveness for me personally, because it's like, it's premeditated. If you had any respect for yourself and for the other person, you would actually say, no, we can't do this. This is not right. Like, you're seeing someone, and I'm not gonna be the downfall of you lot's relationship. You know how much weight that is on you if that person they probably obviously did, but they find out that and then you're saying that you had respect for the person and stuff. You didn't. Because, sorry, Molly, but if you actually had respect for that person, you wouldn't have done that. I cannot say I respect someone but still slap them in the face. That at that point now, I've now put my hands on you. That means I don't respect you. It doesn't correlate. Like, you can't participate in cheating with someone or whatever it was and still say you have respect and love the person. I understand, like, maybe, feelings could have been strong and that's someone you have history with, but sometimes you actually need to learn to shut a door and keep it locked permanently. Some doors are meant to shut for a reason. Some doors are supposed to stay shut. You're not meant to reopen them. You reopen them, you're reopening wounds. You reopen wounds, it can lead to disaster. So sometimes it's better to just walk away from the situation and call it a day. Joey made Monica cry by telling her how great her personality is. And Monica says that looking after her grandmother is priority over a job. I'm not gonna lie. Mental health, I always say this, mental health and family. So let's say, God forbid, something happens with a family member. Oh, you think I'm gonna be working? I'll find out, like, you think I'm actually gonna be working? My family would have to be priority. Especially if it's a close family relative, they're gonna have to be priority, because at the end of the day, Yes, the job pays the bills. It helps you live by a lifestyle that you enjoy. Cool. But with that being said, it's not my life. Listen, 9 to 5s and jobs and stuff like that is a very difficult base to touch on, because we all need a job in order to survive. Let's be frank, let's be lampard. We all need to have some form of income in order to survive in this world. That's straight up facts. But when it comes to like your mental health or a family relative being sick, it's either you're not gonna be seeing me every day, so it'll be a thing where we would have to have a discussion on me either doing part-time or less hours, because I cannot commit to these full hours because I got other shit going on. At the end of the day, working for someone, you need to put yourself first. It doesn't matter if you're working for someone. You need to this is what I've learned as well. You need to put yourself first. So if you're not mentally all right, or, you're going through something, or, you got to take care of a family member, don't feel shame for saying, oh, you know what, I need a few days off, or to get time signed or something, because these people are important in your life. They actually come before any job. Because this is how you lot have to look at jobs, right? When a job is ready, they could just get rid of you. Obviously not like that, because there's procedures, right? But there's no loyalty in jobs. I don't care what a manager could be your best friend. Let me tell you something. When it comes to the position and a friendship, the position will always get picked first, because you're in the place of business. You cannot worry about, if you're worrying about friendship, that's going to cost you your position. So the position will always come first. I don't care what anyone says. That will come first. And then that would destroy. This is why I always say it's not a good idea to really be working with friends. This is just my opinion, guys. It's not, please. And I know some of you think things I say is gospel. Eh? It's not gospel. It's just my opinion. I don't believe you should be working with friends, personally. That's just my take. Because if I was working with friends, and especially working with partners, because if things turn old mass in workplace now, we're humans. Let's not lie. People feel a type of way about other people. So let's not lie. Alex and Madison have a conversation. They were talking about cuddling. Madison has narrowed it down to Mason and Alex. So it's between Mason and Alex who she may want to get married to. Mason and Madison have a conversation. Mason says how Madison is always on her mind, but he's never connected with anyone like Meg. Mason and Meg have a conversation. They're talking about building forts and doing a movie marathon. I quite like their chemistry that they have. Like, they're weird, but in a good way. Like, they're different, innit? Like, you don't get the average person saying, "Oh, let's build a fort and watch a movie." Like, it's kind of like very kid-like, but I love it. Like, it's very cool and bizarre, but I love stuff like that. It's like, let's be goofy together. Like, people that you could just be your full, authentic self around and ain't nobody judging you for it. Like, that's, like, I love stuff like that. They are, like, I even wrote down here that they're so alike because they're into similar movies and they're more or less into, like, the same kind of goofy, geeky things. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think that's quite cool. Devin and Virginia talk. Virginia wants to date someone completely different and not someone she's dated before. She feels Devin is a nice guy and that she's never dated a nice person before. I don't know how some people be attracting, not even attracting, but I don't know how people fall into the trap of dating like horrible. The thing is, yeah, people will sense red flags, but they would avoid them, and that's the problem. A lot of people would sense red flags, or they'll see red flags like it's bait in front of them, but they ignore them because it's just a one-off. No, that one-off is what's going to be happening in your relationship, and that's what you could save yourself from. Devin and Brittany have a conversation. Brittany's dad doesn't know that she's on the show. I mean, Brittany, you're a big girl. I mean, it'll be nice to tell your dad, but he doesn't have to know your business. You are your own woman. Both their dads are named Willie, and their juniors as well, which is pretty funny. They both listen to gospel music. Guys, I love gospel. I love gospel music. If you're a religious person and you haven't been in touch with gospel music yet, go on Spotify and go to the Christian section on the search page and listen to gospel music. There's a few artists. There's Kirk Franklin, there's CC Williams, there's who's the other one? Tasha Combs. Like, there's a few artists out there. You need to listen to their gospel music, because I can't lie, it touches my soul. I'll be so real. Where was I? Now I've lost where I was. And Britney's mom didn't allow her to listen to hip hop when they were younger. When her and her siblings were younger. I mean, probably growing up in a religious household, they believe that these type of lyrics are poison for the mind. And it's true. If you listen to lyrics in hip hop and rap and these type of things, listen to the stuff that they're saying. Even R&B as well. They're talking about sex. They talk about all these things. I still listen to hip hop, R&B, rap, all these type of things. You know, I listen to music. You know, in some religions, I believe in the Muslim community. Correct me if I'm wrong. Only because I know a few people who are Muslim and they've told me this, that music is actually not allowed, and I can understand why. For those that know who Chunks is, that's why he stopped making music, to be closer to God. So yeah, in some religions, music is actually forbidden because it's poison to the mind. That's what it is. So that, not listening to hip hop, I can understand it, and just listening to gospel, because it's like you're listening to basically the words of the Lord, people praising God, and it's like a good influence on your life. Joey and Monica have a conversation. Joey wants to take it to the next step and asks Monica to get engaged, and she said yes. So we have our first engaged couple on the show. Alex and Madison have a conversation. He asks her how she's like in a conflict in a relationship. She said that she gets logical, and I feel like that's very important. If you get into like a disagreement in like your relationship, or like you're seeing someone and you get into like a disagreement, have your emotions in check. Screaming and shouting will never work. It never works. I've never been in that situation, thank God. But from like in the past, when I've had like with friends and you're arguing and you're all shouting across shouting actually doesn't solve anything. Like, it's like a match. It's like who can shout the loudest, and that doesn't solve anything. What you need to do is, when the situation is heated, you take yourself away, you calm yourself down, and then you come back and have a logical conversation. And so I like that answer when she said logical. Madison has been cheated on multiple times. That's sad to hear, to be honest, because she's actually a beautiful girl. So I mean, I don't get it personally. Madison is an avoidance. When she feels someone's energy change, she runs. I feel like that's me, you know. Like, that used to be me anyway. Hearing that is like, that's how I used to be. Like, if I feel like it's not gonna work, I just used to block people, and without any explanation, I just used to block people. I've told for people that don't know, they know already. Like, I spoke about it on a podcast, but yeah, I used to be one of those people. I would just block you, and I know it was bad because it would be with no explanation, nothing like that. But yeah, I used to block people. So her saying avoidance is like, the minute you feel something is off, you would cut. That used to be me, but I'm not like that no more. I actually learned how to talk about my feelings. So yeah, still learning, but the blocking thing, no, because I put myself in other people's shoes. I said, God forbid if that was to happen to me, I think I actually may cry. I'm being dead serious. Like, especially if I'm like in love or falling for someone and they done some grimy shit like that. No, it would hurt, but then I would have to that's my karma. Alex feels that it's a trigger for him, as, you know, that's happened to him before, where, you know, he's been in it with a woman and she's just kind of like ghosted him. Like I said, ghosting is so wrong because it can actually affect people's mental health. Because then you have them asking all these questions like, is it me? Am I the problem? What have I done? You have all these questions arising when it's actually not them, it's you. You're the one with a problem. You're the one that's got avoidance problems and you're not trying to face what the actual issue is. Her parents chose, Madison's parents chose the drugs over her. It's just sad, man. It's sad. It scares Alex a little bit. So he's like he's basically having doubts now. The conversation of sex was taboo for Madison due to her religion. And yeah, Alex, you can see it in his face and his whole body language, it changed. Like he's actually having doubts about the whole thing. But I said at least Madison was open. Like she didn't have to tell him all that. But she was open and said, you know what, this is me, this is my truth. Take it or leave it type of thing. So no, I respect it. I respect her for being honest. Sorry. Child, my throat does get really dry. I don't know what it is, but doing these reviews, my throat does really gets dry. Mason and Madison have a conversation. When he was saying he liked her, guys, I could have sworn I heard Megs. Or am I mishearing it? But it's like I heard when he said, I like you, Megs. And then she said, sorry. I swear, but he saved himself. He actually saved himself. He was meant to say Mads or say her name, but he said Megs by miss. I swear. Leave in the comment section below if you heard Megs as well. I said Madison is a bad beat though. Not her shaking ass for Mason. And you can't even see him. You don't even know what he looks like yet. But yeah, they're shaking bunda. Ah, Madison, eh? Mason and Meg have a conversation. Mason fears that people were gonna come on the show for the wrong reasons. So basically for clout. And I put here my own little side note. Love is Blind seems more about genuine love. It doesn't seem like people are actually coming on here for. It's not like Love Island. I don't get that feeling where I feel like, oh yeah, people are just coming on here to boost up their numbers. I actually feel like people go on this show to find genuine love, you know. And Meg knows that Mason is not. Meg was talking to the girls in the women's quarter, and she just knows that Mason is not the top priority for her, because when she said what she said, I beg your pardon, when she said what she said, he's like, I'm confused. Like if Meg was your top, you actually wouldn't be saying stuff like you're confused, because what are you confused about? So obviously it's like there's someone there, but then like Meg is meeting them here, and it's like, okay, now your brain is baffled, you don't know what to do. So Meg, that's where Meg is coming off your energy. Remember people, energy's a strong thing. It's real, right? So it's like, I can feel when you're not giving me 100% type of thing. And lastly, Monica and Joey will end up seeing each other for the first time, and then the episode ends, and we will see the reactions of them seeing what each other looks like in episode 3. But yeah, that's it, guys, for episodes 2 review. Let me know what you thought about the episode in the comment section below. A gentle reminder, do not spoil it. We're doing this episode by episode. I understand some other people are doing 2 episodes in one review. We're going to take our time on this channel. We're going to do it day by day. And if I can't do a review for whatever reason, I will let you lot know on the community post. Or if you follow me on my social media, you will find out there as well. Subscribe if you're new to the channel with the notification bell on. Smash the like button. And guys, your boy's trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And with the help of you beautiful people, I know that we can do it. Okay? I know it's not a problem. But yeah, it's been your boy Tareq, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next episode. Take care.